Kevin's journey is not just a story of personal development or personal achievement, it is a reflection of the values that Ben Weeder championed: integrity, strength, and the drive to elevate our sport to new heights. And he has done just that. Like Ben, Kevin has been a tremendous ambassador for bodybuilding, bridging cultures, inspiring unity, and reminding us all that greatness is within reach for those who dare pursue it. So on behalf of the entire bodybuilding and fitness community, the IFBB's Professional League, its president Jim Mannion, Master Sergeant Rob Wilkins, promoter Tim Gardner, and the entire Weeder family, it is my great privilege to present the Ben Weeder Lifetime Achievement Award to one of the greatest to ever do it. Let's give it up for the one and only Kevin Levrone.
This is the first time really coming to a professional bodybuilding show because in life I believe that we have to all find our way. Not try to be like anyone else, but as a parent I want to instill in them the importance of love, giving back, and being who you are, putting God first in your life. So I wanted my son to come and enjoy this moment. So thank you very much. 10. Come on up here, brother. I know who you are as a man, but tonight I found out who you are as God put you here to do. And, you've done, your journey has been amazing. I know it's supposed to be about me tonight and accepting this award, but I want to say how much I'm impressed that God has touched you to give back. And proud of what you've done, you and your wife has done for the athletes, for human beings, and giving back to society. Great as a man to stand for giving back. I always say pass it forward and be that man who can instill into others and help people. And that's for free. And you've certainly done that. You've certainly showed love and passion. So I want to say thank you, man, because of you I'm here as well. Dan, come on here, brother. I know it's about me, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't about you. And if it wasn't for Joe Weeder and Ben Weeder and what you've also stood for and what you stand for today. Thank you for that introduction. It was incredible. As I look at you, I see the history of our sport. I see you giving back. I see you involved with an industry that you so passionately care and love about. And I want to say thank you for being in my life and everything you've done for us athletes for the last 30 years. So thank you. You're doing a great job, man. I just have to do it. You got to pass homage, you got to pass it forward. As a kid growing up, I lost my father when I was 10 years old. He died in 2 weeks. He had cancer. First room I ever went to. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know the plan. All I know was my mother said, trust God. He always knows what he's doing, Kevin. And so I trust, I just prayed and prayed. And say, my mother, she died. Before I even turned pro, two and a half years or 2 years before I turned pro. So here I'm a kid getting into bodybuilding, and that was pretty much the roots to me finding my path. And I say that because things didn't make sense to me when it was happening. But as I look back at my life now, 61 years old, I can see why God took my father away. I can see why my mother died from cancer. And it had not been for that, I would have never got into the health and fitness and never got into studying the body and being healthy because I didn't want to go out like that. I wanted to fight do everything I can to be healthy. And it just led me on this path down in the gym. I felt the strength to withstand and endure almost anything because that weight training, it saved my life pretty much. And I say that because it led me to the stage. And on this stage is pretty much where I began my journey without a plan. I came up in Maryland and nobody never went to the junior nationals or nationals or even placed anywhere. But when I went to the nationals, junior nationals, I ran into your grandfather and Jay, your dad. He saw me and he saw something in me. And he put his hands on my shoulders and came backstage. I knew who Mr. Manuel was, but he put his hands on my shoulders and he said, I believe in you, come to the Nationals. And I never forgot that. And that was like an angel, God telling him, this kid who lost his father, it's been 17 years. Go speak some hope, courage into him. And when Jim told me that, I believed in myself. I believed that I could almost do anything. And I trusted what he had told me because of who he was and what he stood for. And those words, it changed my life because I went to the Nationals and I won that show. And it began my journey. After winning that show, Jim, he says, now you gotta go to California. And I was like, I've never been on a plane before, but I went to California and I sat and I met Joe Weeder for the first time. And it was a miracle for me because I know that Mr. Weeder had been, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, Rich Gaspari, just all the great bodybuilders. There's this young kid coming up, read in the magazines, and here I am. So it was almost like, again, when you think your life is falling apart, God is preparing you for a greater purpose. I met Joe. Joe taught me how to pose, spent some time with me. Then Weeder went to my first Mr. Olympia and got second, and then I was on my path. First photo shoot was with you, Jay. Yep, down in the NPC office. I'll never forget that. And I'm saying that because every time I walked out on this stage, whether it's winning a show, whether it's losing a show, no matter where my placing was, it's something about this stage that changed that little kid's life, And you pour in and you give back to the human beings that was given back to you. My mother said one thing before she died. She said, do more for other people than you do for yourself, and never expect anything in return. And God will take care of the rest. And he certainly did. I spent a lot of time with Ben Weeder and Joe Weeder as we would compete. We were held to a standard, and that standard was respect the sport, carry yourself as a man. If you're going to say you're going to do something, show up on time. It's not just about the muscles, it's about who you are when you leave this stage. This stage has given me everything in my entire life. That kid who lost his father at 10, it didn't make sense to me now, but now it makes sense. I have 61 pieces to the puzzle of my life. And you say a life span is what, 70, 76? Well, now it all makes sense. At 10 years old, I only had 10 pieces to my life, but now I have 61. So now I know my greater purpose for my life was being positioned to give back to other people, to say no matter what you're going through, the bad times don't last forever. As long as you never give up, you'll never lose, because God always has a plan. I want to say thank you guys. I love you. Love you, Jay. Love you, Tyler. And to all the IFBB judges, I love you guys. To every MC that ever introduced me, to every expediter that told me where to stand, down to every light man with a plan. To every judge that has ever judged me, and to every photographer, JM, and writer that poured their hearts and souls out so the world can see. And to all my fans, the loved ones that cried for me, this one is for you, baby.